MAPA is an abbreviation, or in short, it means manpower, activity, productivity, and average case size. So in any agency building in an insurance industry, MAPA plays an important role to it. So these are the 4 key areas, okay, in foundation of an agency building. So talking about manpower, the first point, right? So manpower basically means, okay, the number of agents in an agency. So of course, the more agents in the agency, by right, you bring in more production, okay, compared to a smaller agency. But it depends also on the activity, productivity, and also the average case size of the agency. All right, so we could even have a small number of agents, okay, in an agency, but with a very high productivity. Say, example, the agent has a total case which is bigger than the normal agency, which is smaller production. So this itself, okay, will actually make a higher production in an agency. So 4 key drivers need to work hand in hand, okay, by the agency leader. So there's this saying that the leader, one of the leaders says, what you can measure, okay, you can actually manage. So that is part of manpower, right? But end of the day, you look at manpower. As a manager, when you want to recruit, so you have to make sure that your recruitment is based on your selection, your interview, okay? As you come into the business building in Prudential as a manager, right? So you have to choose which are the right candidates. So of course, there are many areas you can look into to actually look into the manpower. So sometimes when you interview them, you have to see whether this person can actually have the confidence level when they come into this business, the way they speak, the way they communicate. All right. Next, you're talking about their background. Where are they from? Are they from a banking background? Are they from maybe an admin background? Are they from maybe a clerk background? So all this, when you look into details, when you have interview one-to-one with them, you'll be able to see which are the right candidates. Because the moment you bring in these candidates into your agency, these will be your agents doing the production together with you. Okay, you have to make sure that they are actually successful. So it's very important as a manager to do a proper selection. All right. Next is on activity. Okay, because we are still talking about MAPA. So activity means the number of cases being closed by the agent in a month. Okay, over the total number of agents in an agency. So to be exact, the more cases the agent closes in a month, the better they are as a sales consultant, as they will show the higher activity ratio. So in example, in short, it equals number of agents issuing a case per month over the number of agents in an agency, right? So end of the day, as a manager, we have to actually monitor the activity by the agent. Okay, you must know what the agent do every day. Whether they're actually having phone calls, whether they have got appointments. Are their closing ratios there? Do they have people to meet? When they are in office, do they make phone calls? All right. So the next is about productivity. Productivity, on the other hand, would mean the number of cases per active agents. So meaning to say the total number of policies issued in a month over the total number of active agents. So as a manager, you will be able to identify, okay, how many policies issued in a month. So the only way is you check through like my agency, we have got a scoreboard. So we look at it every day. So every day when the agents come into the office, they actually do the sharing in the morning. So that is the best time you monitor the agent. Are the agents having cases? Are the agents having appointments? So when you look at that, the moment I said, yesterday I closed 2 cases, I closed 3 cases over the sharing. From there, you can see whether the agent is active or not, everyday basis, right? So out of 10 agents, for example, probably there are 6 who are active. So you will be able to actually monitor, out of these 6, what happened, why the 6 are active, why the 4 are non-active. So as a manager also, you have to actually to look into the other 4. Are they having problem on presentation? Are they having problem in phone calls? Are they having problem in meeting people? So these are the key things that a manager should do in an agency. Okay. The next is about our average case size. Of course, all managers, we always want to have a big case. If an agent closes like 5,000 per month, compared to an agent closes 200 per month, as a manager, you would want a bigger case size. But sometimes you have to know how to make sure that the agent can close such a big case. So end of the day, it depends on also who they see. Are they seeing the right person? Are they seeing the right people in the market? If they're seeing doctors, professional people, of course, the salary income base brought in by them is higher compared to an agent who actually see people working as a clerk or level or lower level. So make sure we as manager monitor, teach them, okay, monitor them, teach them how they want to do this. Okay, make sure that the people that they actually see for appointments are the right person, right people with good income. Okay, so it's very important, okay, that the manager is able to ensure all the 4 key drivers interact together. As I said just now, the manpower, okay, the activity, the productivity, and the average case size. Because these 4 key areas combined together, you get your production. Because every day is production for us. Every month we bring in how much production. So the production depends on us as manager and also the team. Are the team working towards the production, the target that they wanted? All right. So it's also essential to understand this interaction, I mean the 4 key areas, and how to influence a change and to generate results from the agency to the optimum level. All right. Well, in relation to agency's yearly plan, the managers should plan the agency yearly plan through an agency planning workshop, or some will call it as agency planning, yearly planning. So normally for my agency, I prefer to do it on the 1st of January of each year. Because why? It is the right time to me, okay, for the agent to get together on this special event to actually plan for their yearly target. Okay? So when they do the planning in the early day, means the 1st day of January, of course, many things you can actually sit down together and discuss over. So things like the yearly target, the agent's recruitment, okay? So what are the things that they want to do? Of course, you have got 12 months ahead. So these are the best time, for an agency to do the planning. And on top of that, of course, when the agents sit together, these are the time that you can actually have to discuss, okay, what is the best way for them to bring in, okay, in terms of the production, in terms of the activities, where they want to see people, how they want to do it, okay, for the whole entire year. Of course, the next is on the manpower. We're talking about agency planning, okay. Most importantly is the manpower side, whereby you see the people that the agents want to see, okay. So over there, of course, you can see people such as the customers, the referrals, okay, and sometimes the strangers. But through this process, okay, when the agents sit down together, this is the best time they can actually discuss how they want to bring in the manpower for themselves on recruitment side. Because manpower is always related to recruitment. Okay? So during the agency planning workshop, this is a time when the agency sit down together and actually diagnose what went wrong last year. Say for example, an agent who comes in as a new agent, when they want to go for promotion, maybe in 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. So they have to plan now. They have to identify within 1 year how many people they want to bring in. Example, in 1 year we have got about 52 weeks. If an agent can bring in every week 2 agents or 2 potential agents to the agency to recruit them. So maybe out of 52 weeks times 2 agents, you get about 104 agents in total for 1 year. All right. But when you look into details, say out of this 104 people, only 10 agents, okay, are successful under these agents. So that will be 10 numbers of agents with the production in. So that is how you actually tell your agent to do recruitment. So this is where the manpower will keep on increasing. But provided you must have a proper planning in the yearly 1st of January. Okay. Next, we're talking about the activity. All right. Of course, as a manager, we must bear in mind that everybody that joins us can and must be successful, being a life insurance agent in the industry. Yeah, because this is the responsibility of a manager to ensure that they can be successful. All right. So there are people saying that how to make sure that the activity increase. Of course, to make sure the activity increase, you have to make sure that the agent see people, see more people, fight to see more people. Right. So this is how you can make sure that the agent reaches the numbers of people. Because at the end of the day, this is a number game. Okay. The more people they see, the more numbers they will bring in. So we have to go through with them, okay, how to ensure that they could stay active agent. Okay, so managers need to use to monitor agent. Of course, there are things that you need to use on the tools for your agency. So you have to monitor the activity. Okay, so like my agency, I've got a daily monitoring chart. So that's where we actually ask the agent, okay, today you come in, fill up the chart. Okay, who are the people you have for your appointment today? What about tomorrow? Who are the people you want to see? the next day. So you plan the chart 1 week ahead. So if you have 20 agents, example, so make sure you break into groups. Of course, if a manager is doing it alone, you'll be very hassle. So make sure you delegate the work to your captains. So under my agency, we have got a special business unit team. So this is where the delegation will go towards the captains of the team. So they will do the same thing like what I'm doing. So this is how you actually monitor. And at the same time, you can actually train your future managers. They call it as acting unit managers. Okay. So in order for agents to have an activity, closing case more every time, okay, so to increase the activity ratio. So these are things that manager have to monitor. So such activities are as follows: having contact lists. So how to get contact lists? Of course, you have to ask your agents, ask them to share with you who are the people they have. List down the names. Maybe they start with your 100 names. So sometimes they will ask, hey, where to get the 100 names? Huh? So they will say from my parents, from the relative, from the friends, from customers, from relatives. So all these numbers we put in. Okay. So when they have a list, you ask them to make phone calls. So these are the activity of the agency for the agent to actually improve, to get more cases. Next, you can always ask them to do prospecting wherever they are. Because this life insurance business is very simple. You just have to prospect the people that is around the corner. Okay. So wherever you are, wherever you go, always remember to prospect. No matter where you're in the supermarket, maybe you are in a restaurant, end of the day, think about the people beside you. Because you never know, people beside you could be your customers, could be your future clients, your policy holders. So make sure you always prospect. Okay? Example for the Malays, you got a lot of kenduri kawins, kenduri nikah, or doa selamat. So this is the main event where you can actually meet many people, many relative friends. So take this opportunity to meet more of these people. Fact find with them, sit down, say hello. So this is how you start. Next area you can go in through phone calls, because once you have the list of names, say you have 100 names, 200 names, don't forget to make phone calls. That is the most important things as an agent you have to do. Okay, make the phone calls daily basis. So like my agency, we target one day make about 50 phone calls. So because why? We put a high target. Out of 50 phone calls per day, it is not all you can get within one day. There are times you get about maybe 20 phone calls, 20 hits. So out of 20 hits, how many will grant you the appointment? So these are things that an agent should realize. Okay. Next, about direct approach. Okay. So like my agency, we have got a direct approach activity. So we bring the team, the agent, okay, to the places. Okay. Example, shopping complex, okay, LRT stations, okay, food court area. So this is where the agent will try to actually approach people, in the area there. So to get the numbers, exchange of business card. Okay. Next activity the agent should do, okay, is things like open conversation. Means wherever you are, whoever you see, just open up a conversation. Maybe you discuss with them how many kids you have, where are you working now. So through that, the process will actually allow your agent to able to meet people and then get to know more people. Right. Next is open up booths. So like my agency, we have got booth system whereby every month we have got about 2 booths, okay, 2 locations, okay, and also this is where the best place that people will come forward, because booth is like the Malay says the pacak, whereby you just come to a place, people will ask questions, people want to get more information from the agent. So this is the best place for an agent to prospect the client, new clients. Okay. Next is about blue ocean strategy. Okay, this is also another area where my agents will actually go out, okay, because we don't always sit in the same area to do our business. So we ensure them, okay, this week move out to places like say Kemaman, okay, places like in Terengganu. So when the moment agent leave a place from his office, okay, this is where they are very focused, because they have to stay in an area which is new. So this is where they work from morning until the night time, because the booth is at the shopping complex, example. So this is a place that where they can actually see many people. Okay, they are very focused because they don't have to go back to their house. Okay. Next thing is about seminar selling. Okay, this is also another way, okay, for an agent to actually have activities whereby they have seminars to big companies, and maybe to the schools. Okay, so through seminar selling, you actually bring in more production to your agency, right? Next activity that agent should have, okay, is through business presentation. We call it a BOP. Because through BOP, of course, you can bring in a lot of people, guests, who are interested to actually know more about the business. So through that way, whether they want to become an agent or not, okay, you can still always prospect them to become, to take up the policy as a policy holder. So this is also another way of it. Okay. Besides that, okay, we also encourage our agent to get referrals. So there are many ways of asking referrals, okay, maybe to your policyholder, to your friends. It's not necessary that it has to be a policyholder per se. Sometimes when you meet up your relative, you can still ask as an agent, hey, can you give me some name? Can you refer me some name? Who are the people that you think or might want to take insurance with me? See, this is the agent's role. So they have to always keep on asking, because when you never ask, you never know, what is the result would be. Okay. Next is about, you can always tell the agent, okay, to use survey form or questionnaire form. So this is where the agent will be able to train themselves, going out to the public, okay, maybe shopping complex, okay. They use the questionnaire forms, okay, to ask, to do survey, So this is also another approach where people will be, have awareness. Okay, this is the right time for me to take insurance or not, or whether I have got this medical coverage or not. So through asking questions in a questionnaire form, it will actually identify whether this person needs insurance or not. Because if we never ask the right question, we do not know, okay, whether the client or this prospect needs insurance. Okay. Next, we go by way of recruitment. Okay. So recruitment is also another activity that can increase the activities of the agency. So through recruitment, you bring in more new guests, which I said earlier, through our BOP. And next, I will also suggest my agent to do revisiting of our clients. Because clients, we need to take care. Because at the end of the day, our boss is our client also, not only our boss in the office. Okay? Because your client is the one who pays your insurance policy. So make sure that each time when you have a client, call them, maybe 6 months once, okay, or 3 months once. Get to know what's happening with them. Are they okay? Are they happy with what they have? Do they want to increase their insurance? So this is the best time for you to increase the agent's activity through getting names, okay, through this visiting clients activity. Next, you can also have activities such as birthday cakes. Okay, some agents, they like to deliver cakes, okay, on their birthday of the clients. Okay, so this is also another way, okay, to make sure that you service your client. They'll be very happy when you bring the cakes to them during their birthday itself. So this is also a time that you say hello to them, wish them. And at the same time, I assure you, you will get new names from a client because you actually give them a birthday cake on the day of their birthday. So this is another way to actually, impress them, make them happy, all right? And by having such activity constantly, okay, and follow through with the client, this way actually can increase the activity, right? Next is probably you are having, as a manager, okay, you have to make sure that the target is hit. So make sure that, as a manager, we monitor the agents, what are the activities they are doing on a daily basis. We must have a report, okay, to actually monitor. So example, like my agency, I used to have a yearly target, okay, quarterly target review, okay, monthly target review. So when we are doing this on constant basis, okay, we have a follow-up, follow-through. This way, we can actually monitor the agents and ensure that the activity of the agency is high. So, because at the end of the day, if the activity is high, of course, I believe the agent will be making more income from this business. When they have more income, they'll be very happy. They cross their star club. They cross all the challenge by prudentials. Okay, so make sure that we actually advise the client, activity is actually income to them. Don't think that activity means it's an effort, it's a waste of time. No, because when we are in this business, we have to think business-like, businessman-like, whereby each time when they will go out, it's business to them. Okay, so nothing more, nothing less. Just focus on business, right? So talking about the average case size, okay, of course, end of the day, the average case size depends very much on the people that they see. If they are talking about normal income earner, we should say about 2,000 a month, of course, you will be able to see that the ability for them to buy an insurance is very small. Probably one case with 100 per month or 200 per month. But if you are able to get in people or prospect with a high income, good profession, okay, with a business running, going on, of course they'll be able to take a big income production with you, probably a 5,000 per month premium. So there's the way that you can actually, get more production, faster compared to an agent who sells one case 100 per month. So end of the day is about the agent itself. Who you want to see is very important. So plan well, right? When you're talking about results, to me, result basically means achieving target as planned, whether the agent itself or by the agency itself as a group. Okay, so the end result is always the production. So when you have production in, of course the result is there. So end of the day, right, in year end, of course, if an agency hits, say example, 10 million production, the agent achieving their star clubs, going for overseas trip, getting their bonus. So these are the results that they want. So it's very important, talking about MAPA, manpower, activity, productivity, and average case size. Because with these 4 key drivers, is already the production. So end of the day is, if the production is there, of course the result is already there. So I presume this question is not only asking result as in, just on the MAPA, manpower, activity, average case size, and productivity. So it will also have to take into consideration of recruitment, because I believe recruitment plays a very important role, especially in agency building. So example, we're talking about manpower. Okay, so an agency must have a process, whereby every week, the agents must bring in people to see people and then bring in people. So like my agency, how we do that? We overcome that. We are having an event. Okay, I believe many agencies in Prudential are having the same thing. But end of the day is how consistent are you? So if you have a recruitment, we call it business presentation preview or BOP. So this is the right channel or right event for your agent to bring in the number of people for you to do recruitment. Okay, so through that way, when you have a tracking system, to see how many people your agent comes in during the BOP. So that is another way for you to monitor the result. Okay, so because if in a month the whole entire agency have got only recruited one agent, so of course as a manager you feel, how come? What have I done? What have the agent done? Or what have we not done? So as a manager, you have always make sure that each time when there's an event such as BOP, make sure that the agent has people to bring in. Bringing in people is important. Okay, but end of the day is when the people comes in, are they interested to become an agent? How they want to be active? When will they be contracted? So these are the processes that the agent and also the manager have to go through the processes. Example, when a person is interested to become an agent, they come into your agency. First thing, what are they supposed to do? So we have to tell them, advise them, okay, you have to take the exam, okay, register the exam first. Once they pass the exam, okay, register as a agent in Prudential. But of course, maybe we are not aware whether this person can do the sales or not. So this is the time that we're going to test. So through trainings, okay, when the new agent comes for our internal trainings, so like my agency, we call it a part 1 training. This is where we actually identify whether this person can do sales or cannot do sales. Are they okay being an agent in Prudential? So this is the best event that you can check the result. So through the process, when they come to Prudential or the agency, when they are asked to do minor things, can you give me a list of names? Example, can you give me the people that you think can take insurance with you? Okay. So if the agents are unable to actually provide you names, that actually is already an identification that this particular person is not good or not capable to become agent. So you can actually do your selection even earlier, prior stage. Okay. For another example, if an agent comes into the agency, okay, within a very short term of period, he can actually do presentation. He picks up fast. Okay, he can actually sell many cases, not even without an assistance of you or the agent. So this itself shows that this is a capable potential agent. So this is where we actually have to monitor on the people in our agency. Right. Next is how we monitor it. Okay, like my agency, we have got our weekly activity report. It's a very simple report. Okay, whereby the agent will actually write down, how many phone calls they have, how many appointments in the day they have, then how many case closed they have, what is the average case size they have closed. So through such a process, when you do it weekly, in a week, like my agency, we do it on Saturday morning. All of the agents will come in 8 o'clock, we sit down, we have a meeting. So each agent will actually come out and present what have they done for the whole 1 week. Because you have got Monday to Sunday. So it depends ideally what you want. Okay, some agency maybe they work 5 days, I don't know. So anyway, it depends on you, as a manager to actually advise or have a guideline in the agency. So if this is a business, why not 7 days a week? Because business is any time, any place, any people we can see, because it's life insurance business. So this is the time, through our Saturday morning, we call it a weekly meeting. This way we monitor our agent, we actually ask them to share with us how many people have they met, okay? How's the presentation, how did they manage to close the case, what are the challenges they face, so what are the objections. So these are the things that a manager must monitor if you want to get a bigger or a consistent positive result. So through this way, I believe, when you are a manager, these are the processes that you should do. So not only on weekly, okay, what you should do is after your weekly, you have your monthly meeting. So this is another way to identify, is the group doing well, is the production coming in, are the agents happy. So through your monthly meeting, you can actually have a list of groups. Sometimes when you have a big group, big team in the agency, say about 3 to 4 groups combined. Okay, so through this process, we call it an agency meeting. You get the agents motivated, excited. Hey, my group is number 1 this month. No, my group is number 2 this month. So by having such activity, of agency meeting, indirectly you will be able to get production coming in also. Even though it's a very minor thing, but to me it's very important because the agent will want to have fighting spirit between their peers in the team. So this is a very important event for an agency building. Okay, and then another way is through our, as I said just now, weekly activity report. So the reports need to be filled up by the agent. They have to actually identify, who are the people that met. Because sometimes when you look into their reports, you can able to identify already. If they said they have got 1 week, almost 20 appointments, but end of the day they've got only 1 case closed. So is that okay or is that not okay? So as a manager, monitor them, ask them, check with them. So these are the time that you have to do coaching. So as a manager, we are not just focusing on the agents, sales. We need to know why. Sometimes they are probably a very good agent, but probably something went wrong somewhere. Probably they do not have proper skill on presentation. Probably they are unable to close a deal. So we have to check if they have got appointment. Once after appointment, we have to know, okay, what happened to the appointment. What are the challenges they face? What are the objections they face? So through such a way, monitoring, I believe as a manager, okay, with the system that you have, you implement in your agency, you will be able to reach your target. So the result, end of the day, depends on how you do it. All right, and of course, it's important that as a manager, always have time to review. Because there's one saying, each time when you review with the agent, you actually identify the result of the agent itself. Yeah, another thing is my mother manager, Haji Lau, have advised me once. He says, inspect what you can expect. So as a manager, when we actually expect, we expected to have this production, this number of case, okay, this number of policies approved. So sometimes we have to ask ourselves as a manager, are we actually inspecting or not? Because when you expect something, you have to inspect. So as a new UM1 and UM2, make sure that you have time to actually inspect what your agents are doing. Example, when they have presentation, for the first few times, as a new agent, we have to ensure that there are agents, senior agents, follow up with them, or going with presentation with them, or alternatively, we as a manager, we go on field, we join field work with them. So this is where we can actually identify, is the agent managed to do things that they are supposed to do. So are they doing the right thing at the right time, at the right place, with the right people? So these are things that managers will actually go through, okay? And we have to make sure that, as an agent, there's this theory that my mother manager, Haji Lau, have said, apply the go and see theory. So what does it mean by go and see theory? It means we as managers, we have to go around on the field, see the agents. Are they having problems? Are they having challenges? Do they have any hiccups or not when they do the presentation? Because the best place for you to see an agent is at the real life actual event. Example, when the agents have got booth, okay, maybe in a shopping complex, in the school area, when they are approached by people, how do they approach the people? Okay, how do they give the feedback? How they reply to the clients or prospects' questions? So this is the best time for you to see because it's a real life event. Okay. Next, through MAPA also, we could monitor the average case size. Okay, whereby, as I said just earlier, the average case size is determined by the agent. Okay, such as if he closed, say one case that he closed, say 200 per month. Okay, compared to maybe there's another agent who closed about 400 per month. So we have to identify and check why there are agents can close smaller case, why there are also agents can close a bigger case. So sometimes as an agent, you want to check the result. Of course, you want the result to be big. So of course, the production has to be big to get the best optimum business. But at the end of the day, we as managers, we also have to check whether the agent is prospecting the right person or not. Did he or she did the right facts finding? Because at the end of the day, there are agents who push selling. This is not right, because you are pushing a client to actually buy the insurance with you. So the best is you have to know whether the clients have got the ability, the affordability for them to pay the premium. Because at the end of the day, we want a long-term business. So these are things that a manager should actually coach the agent to do. Well, through MAPA, we are able to identify where is the agency's strength and where is the weakness. Because through MAPA, you actually identifying the 4 key areas that I said earlier, which is the manpower, the activity, the productivity, and the average case size. Because MAPA stands for these 4 key thing drivers, which is actually the production, the API. So in order for us to review, whether it is according to the strategies to get our goal. So at the end of the day, we have to know, if let's say, example, as an agency, you set the goal, you have the 5 million agency by year end. So you have to calculate, you have to be aware as a manager, out of 5 million production that you want, how many numbers of agents that you need? What are the manpowers that you need? So by when you can actually bring in the manpowers? If an agency started with, say, example, 20 agents, then for them to reach a 5 million production, of course, these are things that you have to monitor the agents. With the 20 agents, by when they can bring in the 5 million. So it is very important that you have a quarterly review, monthly review, weekly review, and also a yearly review. So through this process, you will be able to actually monitor where are you now as an agency or as a goal, as a group. So this is the best time actually to actually check. So that's why in my agency we have got a retreat, we call it. So every two months once, we actually bring our agent together and sit down to review back. So this is the time we actually do our check and balance. Because if an agency wants to get 5 million by year end, of course, by middle of the year in June, they must cross about 2.5 million production. So how to do this? It goes back to the same. You apply the MAPA, the manpower, the activity. So manpower is one thing, then activity comes. So within the 6 months, what have your agents done for the past 6 months? Is their activity aligned with their goal or not? Do they have appointments? Do they have booths? Do they meet enough people throughout the 6 months? So in order to achieve the 2.5 million. Next is the productivity. So productivity depends on the case that they close. How many cases out of the number of agents they have? Probably you have about 10 agents, example. But out of 10 agents, probably 6 are active. So through these 6 agents which is active, who are active, these are the people that bring in the production. So we as managers, we have to monitor on that part also. And of course, the average case size. Of course, as I said earlier just now, the bigger the case size, the more production will come in. So as managers also, through the process of realignment, check and balance, so you will be able to know, what are the things you need to put up to ensure you reach the 5 million. Sometimes, there are times that, these 4 key drivers, probably the manpower is not working. You have got 10 agents, example, but I said earlier, out of the 10, 6 are working. So how to improve that? Probably we actually ask the agents to recruit more people. How to make sure that they actually bring in more numbers? So it's through recruitment. So we have to get a target to them. This week, bring in 2 to recruit, bring in 3 to recruit. So the number depends on you. And we're talking about the activity. So as a manager, we look, what have they done throughout the 6 months to achieve the 2.5 million example. What are the activities have they actually put in the effort? So if they are not active, so we have to find ways. Why are they not active? We have to review back. What have they done for the 1 week? Next is about our productivity. Okay? To get into production, of course, you have to have the activity. So all these are interrelated. Okay? So end of the day, when you complete the 4 categories or 4 key drivers, then you get what you want at the end of the goal, end of the year-end goal. Okay? So these are things that you have to ensure on that as a manager. My agency vision as a group, talking about group, okay, to be number 1 wealth planner organization in Prudential Asia by providing comprehensive and affordable financial solution to the people at large. My agency mission would be M250, okay, WP 3000 in 2018, meaning to say, by 2018, our agency will have 250 million production, okay, with a total of 3,000 wealth planner. So this is our agency mission. What we do is to incorporate that. Normally, we actually do a declaration in the morning. So like my agency, in the morning, the agents will come in, okay? So all of us will actually read a space repetition, okay? So one of the things that we read is our agency goals, our agency missions, what are our core values. So when we do a space repetition every single morning, okay, without fail, okay, from Monday to Saturday, that will actually keep the agents be reminded, okay, what is the goal target. So even though like my agency, we plan for 2018 to achieve a 250 million with a total number of 3,000 wealth planner, okay. But when we read it along every day, the agents will remember, okay. So the other way that we do is through a retreat. As I said earlier, 2 months once we have a retreat. Okay, normally we go to places which is far away from the city so that our agents are more focused, away from all this hassle of massive jam and whatnots. So when they are at this particular place, like my agency, we do it at maybe at Janda Baik, example, or maybe at Hulu Langat. So these are the places which is quiet, with river flowing, water river flowing, a lot of forest, greeneries. So when the agents are there, this is the best time actually for them to actually realign back. Are they reaching their goal or not? So by having such an event, you keep on reminding of their goals and what they're supposed to do. So this is also the best time for the agent to sit down as a team or under their own group to review back, what have they done, in order for them to achieve their goals. Maybe they have left about four more months, especially the final quarter. In Prudential, we've got quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So normally at quarter 4, you will see the agents excited, how I want to do, what I'm supposed to do. So these are the events, for them to actually be reminded of the goal and focus at what are the things they're supposed to do. So when they are very focused, at this event, I'm very sure that they will reach their goal target. Well, I believe this is one of the important things that an agency should do, okay, in order to actually setting goals, and actually achieving them at the end of the day. So normally, like my agency, every year we have our agency planning workshop. So this is the way, we actually sit in together with our strategic business unit. We call it SBU team. So normally in an SBU team, we have got about probably between 5 to 6 number of agents. So they've got the captains, the assistant captains in the group. So this is the best time to actually to find out, okay, how they want to achieve the goal, okay, and what are they supposed to set, what are activities, what are the action plan. So through this process, okay, when the group sits down in the group, they'll be able to identify what are the contradictions. So maybe you ask me, what is contradictions? Because there are many things that the agency wants to do. There are many things that a group wants to do. But to actually achieve their goals, to get the result, they have to identify what are the things that actually fail them from doing it. So ask the agent, throw out questions, why, okay, how to do this. So from this process, when they sit down, they said they want to have, example, in a month, 20 recruits. So what are the things that stop them from recruiting? Ask them to list down. Okay, probably you can put it in point form. So when all the agents give their points, maybe this is because of they are lazy, example, that no people to meet. Okay, probably they've got no time. So when they put down all those negative points, so you have to identify, okay, from this group, these are the things that they actually show you. The reason why the group is not achieving to the target. So we have to eliminate all these problems they have. So when they are in a group, they can able to identify how to do that. So let them discuss, let the captains take lead on that, and then let them have the input, okay, how to get their goal done. Okay? So to achieve successful agency goals, so one needs to actually be consistent. Okay? So how to have a consistent goal to be achieved? So the easiest way is do it a weekly review, a monthly review, or a quarterly review, as I said, as I mentioned just now. Okay? So when you have such a review, of course, there's always a check and balance. Just like your car, you need to send to a workshop to do alignment and balancing. Same goes to the agent, same goes to us. Even as an agency manager or agency unit manager, same thing. We have to do a process of alignment. Okay? We have to know what happened, what went wrong. Okay? What is our strength? What is our weakness? How to achieve the goal? So these are things that the agency should have for the group, for the agents all. So through such events, when you have a check and balance records or data, this is where you can actually identify how I want to get to the next stage. If I've got this problem, okay, what am I supposed to do as an agency manager or as an agent? So through this process, I'm sure that, very assured that the agent will do very well in the business. Well, I believe in all this goal setting, we must have activities. So like my agency, we have got this thing we call agency retreat. So to me, it's very important event. I think I've mentioned earlier, whereby you do a 2 months retreat to a beautiful place, like the Hulu Langat or maybe in Zandabai, away from the city. So this is the best time for you to actually do a check and balance again. All right. So we also apply a dome process, when we are there at this particular event. I think most of you would know what is dome, okay, but just let me remind. Okay, dome means you have to do a diagnosis, okay, or what actually went wrong or went right. Okay, what is the best for that? Okay, next is you have to observe, do the observation. M is for the methodology, and E is for the evaluation. So when the agents apply this process, I believe they can actually be able to identify. At the end of the day, is their target achieved, and how fast they want to achieve the target. So I believe another way of having this result to be nearer to what the agent wants is through follow-up, follow-through. So of course, in any agency building, okay, every month you have got your sales target. All the agency will actually want to hit the target. Say this month they want to hit, say, about 500,000 of sales. So what are they supposed to do? So normally, like my agency, in the middle of the month, normally it's on the 15th, we have called this follow-up, follow-through event or program. So this is the time you actually check with your group. Okay, we sit down together during that night or during the evening, to actually go through back, where have they reached, how far have they reached in the middle of the month. Okay, have they actually get what they wanted? Because normally the production, if they have not achieved even half of the production, that means they are having problem already. So this is the best time, when actually you sit down with the agent, ask them to check, end of this 15th date of the month, okay, what is the production they have submitted, okay, and then you have to check also, what are the case pending. That means they have submitted the case, but it's still pending. Why is it pending? So this is our role as manager to actually check back, okay, go through again. Probably is some problem in the case. Probably the client is having a medical record which is problem. Okay, probably the client has got history. So these are things that even though it's very teeny miny things, but as a manager we have to actually advise the agent. Let them be aware, because many agents, they like to focus on the sales. They close case, close case, close case. When they close the case, they submitted, but the case is still under pending. So as manager, sometimes when you look at your race result, in the system, wow, how come there are so many pending cases? Almost about 100,000. So how to clear that? Because these are the cases that's usually in your system. That means the agents have already closed. But if we fail to identify that, then that is the reason why the production is getting slower. So when we are able to make sure that the case is cleared, as in Prudential, we always use the word clear case. So this is what we meant, how to clear the case. So check through with the agent on that. All right. And I believe another way is through your SBU team. You should have your weekly target achieved. Check on the submission. Okay, is the submission in a line? Is what the target? Okay, and also, as I said just now, the pending. And last but not least is cases on hand. So what do I mean by cases on hand? Basically, it means that the cases that I already have, it's just a matter of time for them to close. So we have to actually put a target to them. Okay, how many cases that you have captured? How many cases is in the pending? and how many cases that you have on hands. So meaning to say that they have to know that in their record book, who are the people that they have not met to close the case within this week, within this month. So these are things that a manager must identify and go through with the agent. So I believe with a thorough monitoring, okay, process, I believe your target will be achieved. I believe goals should be measured, in such a way that it has to be on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, and quarterly basis. So that would be more systematic, because when you do it on daily basis, like you have it a chart, like my agency, we have a chart. So every day the agents will actually put up on the chart, how many cases have they closed. So there's another way of doing that. If you're doing it on a weekly basis, of course, during the 1 week, we have our weekly activity report, our meetings. Like my agency, we do it on Saturday morning. So that entire week, you can usually manage to measure what have the agent done for the 1 whole week. And next is to quarterly review. So when you have a quarterly review, of course, it's 3 months once. So over there, you can actually have a target. Is the target achieved? And moreover, in Prudential, we have our quarterly challenge. So it's very important, as an agency or as an agent, to have your target checked on quarterly basis also. And of course, last but not least is the yearly review. So I believe when you have this consistent review, your agency will be able to reach the target, okay, in line with what you want and how much production you want. Well, I guess I believe all agents and managers must involve in goal setting and review process. For various example, agent needs to review with the immediate leaders. So let's say if this is an agent, you must have a unit manager 1. So I believe it's the best person to actually meet, to actually review back, where has this agent reached. So as a unit manager also, you have an upper superior person, which is your agency manager. So as a unit manager, you have to review back with your agency manager. Same goes to the agency manager. You must have a mentor to review back. Where are you now? Where are you going? How to get there? So by when you want to achieve. So I believe it will be our senior agency manager. So I believe every one of us have got a objective, a person that you are supposed to meet up to review, because you can't review your own every time. You need somebody to actually give you some points, some positive input. So sometimes you can actually meet up with, maybe a CFO, they call it, So in Prudential, I believe there are so many leaders, so many successful leaders. So end of the day is you have to meet up with someone to review what you have done. Well, I believe any new managers who have been promoted, of course they are very excited day one when they actually got the result, because this is what I actually experienced when I see agents, the moment the result is out in the Prudential Pro Partner. Wow, I'm promoted. Okay, so what's next? So always remember, being a manager is not much different as an agent. End of the day, it's about our business. End of the day, it's about production. So we need to stay focused. Okay, so being a unit manager as a first year itself, we shouldn't say that, that's it. I'm now a manager. I have to stop working already. Allow my agent to work. No, I don't believe in that. So I believe even as a new agent, new manager during the first year, I'm sure you still have your clients to service. All right. So by the process of servicing your clients, meeting up with them, probably doing sales also. Okay, it still is. It's good that you actually bring in profit, bring in income or business to the agency. So as a newly promoted manager, you just have to stay focused what you're doing. Probably, you do more on coaching also. So that will actually help you and on recruitment. Because at the end of the day, when you're promoted as a manager, you actually have to transfer your technology to your new members. Okay, so this is one of the process that I believe as a new manager should do. Okay, not only saying that when they are manager, they have less work. Because at the end of the day, you must know as a manager how much you want your production to be. Okay, so maybe the first year you said you want to target a 2 million production. Okay, second year maybe a 3 million or 4 million. So you must have a proper planning the day that you're promoted, probably before even you're promoted, because many agents before the promotion, they will actually know already, what is the number of agents they have. So what is the strength they can have? So end of the day is you plan your own agency. Okay? If you want a big agency, of course you have to do things earlier, pre-plan earlier. So I believe, when any manager is promoted, as long as they stay focused, follow the company's guidelines, the rules and regulation, I believe they will reach what they want at the end of the day. And I believe life insurance is a very great business, because I've been in this business for almost 10 years. So as now an agency manager, so I think life insurance business is not only just for helping people, but at the end of the day, when you join this business, you can actually enhance further. There are so many things you can achieve through life insurance business. So in fact, you can actually manage to change your lifestyle, change your financial. In fact, you can actually go for more vacations with Prudential through Prudential. So I believe this business can bring more to you, but make sure that you always stay focused. Right.